rosy sun settles over the sea. A dusk wind dances up the waves. The moon climbs out of the Olympic Mountains, and 8 orca whales come leaping up the Washington coast. Stories are told that 50 million years ago, ancestors of the orca whale walked upon the land on all fours. But they so loved the water they gave up their land and legs to have fun and tail flukes. Now, orca is the greatest and most powerful hunter in all the oceans of the world. The leader of the pod, bull orca, echolocates. By sending vibrating sounds through the water, he can locate and tell the nature of objects far beyond his sight. He finds a school of salmon circling within fishermen's nets. It is a familiar practice. The whole pod will slip into the nets to feed and then escape before the fishermen notice. Splashing and singing at the rear of the group, not at all like a hunter, is Orca the pup. Bull orca suddenly turns the pod toward the nets. He and the herd speed to the noisy, splashing salmon. Just at that moment, Pup turns the opposite way, toward a juicy salmon nearby. As Pup's great jaws open to snatch his catch, a storm of fishing boats closes in on the whales, but Orca wheels around and the pod races for safety. Pup moves to join them, but he can't. His dorsal fin is caught in a sunken, abandoned cargo net. Pup wiggles and squirms, and he bucks and thrashes. The net only gets tighter. Then he lies still, nearly out of breath, too weak to call out. Above him, the rumbling of the boats grows faint as they move away. Pup hears his mother calling him. He is only 5, and he has never been more than 100 yards from her side. But her voice, like the others, soon fades. In the watery silence, the sunlight begins to disappear. Pup must have air, or he must join his family. He tries one last time to break free. The muscles along his back tighten. His 4-foot tail flukes strike downward. His sharp teeth cut sideways. At last, the net's mesh snaps. His 3-ton body rockets towards the surface. He is free. Air, night air, rushes into his blowhole. His lungs fill up like balloons. But the fight has tired him. Alone and exhausted, Pup drifts, half asleep through the lonely moonlit sea, closer and closer to land. From the shadowy hills nearby, ancient totem poles rise up to the stars. For centuries, the Native Americans along the western coast carved totems that celebrated Orca's brave hunting skills. But, unseen by Pup, the totems slide by as the moon goes out of the sky. Dawn breaks and Pup awakes, feeling the sun's growing heat on his back. Unaware, he is lifted toward the shore, and he's become stuck in a shallow pool of water. The waves must have pushed him here in the night. The outgoing tide has left a sandbar between him and the sea where he belongs. No whale can endure so much direct sun, and the sun is still rising. Pup has grown to understand the meaning of many sounds in the sea, yet surrounding him now are stranger voices. Along his back, he feels many soft, trickling sensations. Suddenly, he's being moved. Something is pushing him through the rising water of the incoming tide, pushing him back to sea, back to the cold, and back to life. He takes a grateful gulp of air and dives down past the dark underwater caverns, down past the fluttering kelp beds. The cold water cools his body. Pup begins to escalate. He finds a school of herring and races for it. But Pup is young and inexperienced. All the fish hear him coming and scatter. Still alone and looking for his family, Pup sees 3 humpback whales rising up out of the hidden valleys of the undersea. Their slow whistling songs are different from the songs his families use, but within the notes, as if from a far-off world, Pup hears another, more urgent song, the orca song. Pup turns and dives his sleek body toward the surface. He breaks out of the water on a skybound spiral, and he lands with a tail-whipping splash that can be heard clear to the mountains of the Olympic Peninsula. He looks for signs, a fin, a fluke, any sign along the coast, and then, silhouetted against the sunset, Pup sees them, 7 whales, his very own family, rising out of the waves, coming for him. They have not left him, they have come back. Their songs of happiness race before him like ribbons of joy. Orca the Pup is home again.